It's just so cool.
There it is.
Oh, there we go. I was just saying that I always get hyped when I hear our theme song. And
I feel like I should have a lighter towards that end part.
Right?
You know?
It's so good. So good. Hi, good morning. Welcome to Pro Wrestling Simulated. I'm Pat, that's Mike, and this is the 500, which is a tournament that we've been doing for, I guess this is our 28th episode. Forever! It seems Forever. We have taken the PWI 500, which is a list of the 500 best wrestlers in the world, and we are putting them against each other, single elimination style in a tournament. We have knocked out 276, I believe, and we're going to take out another 11 today.
Take them all out.
Take them all out until only one remains as the undisputed best wrestler in the world that will undoubtedly still be disputed by some.
Undisputed, though, has been going around a lot lately.
It has been. We have new undisputed tag team champions. Not sure why they couldn't do that on the premium live event, but it did happen on SmackDown. Or Raw.
I can't get used to that.
Nah. No, Kenny needs to come back so that we can just get ahead of that split and build to whatever's next for that group. Because, Undisputed Elite, I get what they're doing. I get it.
Yeah.
But, nah.
Here's my thing about what I realized with the Undisputed Championships. So now that Orton's on his own, well, I mean, RK Bro is still going to be a thing, and they're a fantastic tag team. They love to do Randy Orton versus Edge. So is the Judgment Day.
Which would have fit right in the WCW.
Soon to be a tag team match against RK Bro. I mean, it seems like it. But then if you think about the main title too, you've got, probably Cody at Money in the Bank. And then probably Randy again by SummerSlam.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, who else do they have that isn't Roman or is on that level?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Doesn't
that seem like a problem, Vince?
You would think, but nope.
This is why everyone's leaving.
Yeah.
And also because you're firing everyone.
Also because you're firing everybody. Yeah. Hey, how about that tournament for the vacant women's tag team titles? In a division where they have 0 tag teams.
You mean hopefully held by maybe former WWE superstar Mercedes Varnado?
Yes. And Trinity Fatu. Yeah, so here's the thing. You go long enough proving time and again that you don't care about a title or the champions who hold it. And then when the champions finally say, hey, take us seriously, to which you reply, nah.
Now, he just doubled down.
Don't be surprised when they hand you back those titles and say, thanks, but no thanks.
Thanks for nothing.
I get that they're trying to act like the women's division is on the same level as the men's. They've got their own Raw title, they've got their own SmackDown title, they've got their own tag team titles, also in NXT. But if you're not going to book them well,
what's the point?
You're back to Vince Russo territory of they're just props, bro. And Sasha Banks, legitimately, about 5 years ago, was maybe the best wrestler in the world.
She still is consistently the best and proven ratings draw.
Yes.
For that company. They should be handing her hand over foot whatever she wants and treating her like Roman Reigns. There's no reason.
At the very least, treat her like Charlotte Flair.
Oh, God.
Like, she should be the one with the cheat code that activates unlimited title shots.
Absolutely. And everyone is behind her. There is not one audience that is like that I've seen that
Ooh,
goes,
I don't know.
they're like they're iffy on Sasha Banks. Not one.
Oh, live crowds, yeah.
Yeah, live crowds.
I was gonna say,
So like
Twitter's
the
a different
popularity
story.
of her as I could care less about the petty, like stupid stuff that terrible backstage environment has conditioned people to be cutthroat about each other in terms of, how they, it just the whole thing of like, yeah, I understand having creative differences, but don't walk out. Like, the show is booked on the fly.
Yeah.
Does anyone care anymore in there?
They had 8
Also,
hours to rehearse their match. Yeah.
No, if
They
all of a
saw
sudden, like let's say that this show was run by somebody else. We have been doing it for as long as we have, and then all of a sudden, somebody like that person said, "You know what? We're taking the show in a new direction. It's all My Little Ponies from now on. That's all you're doing." You and I would be like, "No,
No.
we've kind of built something here.
Yeah.
Gotten some recognition for it. We'd like it to be treated as such." And then them going, "Nope," or "I hear what you're saying. I'm not going to do it anyway."
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's very, very frustrating as a
And
fan.
to counterpoint though, on the other side of the spectrum with AEW, they're not doing so hot either with the terms of like the way they're treating talent.
Division.
Listen,
Yeah.
I understand when, if like Tony Khan's like, I want to wait until this whole Discovery Plus thing is figured out. Let's see what the TV deal is. Then we can all talk contracts. And at the same time, I understand MJF going, I am worth as much, if not more, than these guys that you've brought in.
Yeah.
So he is really holding. I honestly, personally, I of course do not want to see him in WWE just because of fear of what they would do with him.
Oh,
the only condition is that I would watch him if they just let him do what he does. And that's so hard to believe that he would be able to do that. But that if it was done, he would toe that line so well. With because he never crosses any lines, but he pushes it so far, just enough.
He gets as close as possible to the line.
And still plays the heel, and still plays the, he does it in a way where it's like, oh, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And it's scary to me to see how the dynamic would shift when literally a day one AEW guy would jump.
Yeah.
Cody,
Cody.
He's already been there. He came from to start and then create. This was literally a grown man in that system, in that promotion.
Right.
I think though, personally, because the man knows how to work, and I can't speak for him, but I'd be doing the same thing if I knew that it got people's attention, people listened to my every word, and never knew whether to believe the act or not, to hold the card of advantage in my next contract negotiation. You better believe that I'm holding the feet to the fire.
Oh, absolutely.
So, Max, you get yours.
Absolutely. Get paid.
And honestly, that goes for anybody, because they're still technically independent contractors. So fight for what you're worth.
Yep. Unless Freddie Prinze Jr. gets his way.
That's true. Which I don't know.
Yeah, that's a developing story that we will absolutely.
I mean, we saw how it played out with Lucha Underground towards the end with El Rey and that whole dispute of who owns the rights to what and how long can these people work. So that's when it gets really complicated. Because he doesn't want to deny people work, but at the same time, he wants them to be able to fall into a category where they can get health benefits. But when you do that with SAG-AFTRA, you also have to follow it to certain parameters where you're it's contracts are the worst with these sort of things, especially in entertainment, because if you get locked down to something, you are there.
Yeah.
Especially studios that really want to hold on to talents, it can be make or break for some people. And sometimes it can break them. Or sometimes you end up like Whoopi Goldberg and end up doing a terrible dinosaur buddy cop movie that you had a handshake agreement. And by the way, if no one knows that story, look it up. It's fascinating.
Oh, the story behind Theodore Rex is insane.
Good God. It is
insane.
insane. I realized I didn't change the background. I should do that. There we go.
There we go. Technically, it's still starting soon because we're just chatting. We haven't gotten to any of the
we're just chatting now. This is basically how Pat and I hang out.
It is. It is. This is our weekly catch up.
This is us how we've been. Like, if anything, this has just been an excuse for us to hang out since we used to work together.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. We haven't actually physically seen each other in over a decade. So this is how we do it now. You guys just get to watch.
Exactly.
We throw a little wrestling in there once in a while. Speaking of wrestling, hey.
Oh,
what do you say we kick things off with some lightweight action, some middleweight action, some light heavyweight action, some cruiserweight action, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be two of the best in the world at it.
So you watched Dynamite recently.
Eventually, yeah. Thank you.
I heard
TBS
your journey with that was insane, thanks to Roku.
Yeah, Roku. But I mean, and I don't blame Roku. I blame Turner because it would work on my Roku or on my phone or on my desktop or the website. None of it.
So we've got Michael Oku coming up, and he's going to be taking on Matt Sydal. Now, was it just me, or was that promo after the confrontation between JAS and Blackpool Combat Club just awkward? Like,
yeah.
First of all, once again, incredibly rushed. Like, jeez, just please slow down and let things breathe. But at the same time, it was just like, I don't think anybody asked who was thinking about, what Sydal and Dante Martin thought. Yeah. No offense to them, but sometimes it's better to just show me the graphic than tell me.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably be more invested in the match that happened on Friday if they had just said, hey, well, this coming Friday, the Blackpool Combat Club, before they have to deal with the JAS, are going to take on, it's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
Not again, it's one of these things. It's like not everything needs a story and not everything needs a promo, because think of the amount of time that you can fill in with all the stuff that you didn't need.
Yeah.
Like one or two more women's matches.
Yeah. Or maybe a little bit of intro for, oh, hey, look, we've got Big Damo working an enhancement match.
Yeah.
That could have gotten a little more attention. I mean,
that to me felt like, okay, maybe he should have taken on the other bear of Bear Country. Like,
yeah,
it's an easy follow-up. You took out one, take out the other, use the guys that, again, it's, and I don't mind seeing sporadic appearances. Like, I thought the Johnny Elite appearance was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Continuing the gimmick of, by the way, you called it way back in this show to call him Johnny Elite, so
yeah,
a little bit of prescience on your end.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
I know a friend who has never said that phrase correctly or used it correctly. He's like, well, a broken clock. And
what about it?
There's more to that. Well, it's got to be right at least once. I'm like, no, that's. I mean, you're right, but
it's right.
You are so close.
Yeah. Oku's got the half crab. He is the master of the half crab. That is legitimately his finisher. Does it better than anybody, but Sydal able to get out of it. It's still early in the match.
So if you're 100% on a half crab, does that
mean you've got a 33 and a third % chance of winning at sacrifice?
That spells disaster for Matt Sydal.
That's right. Of course, those of you that have been watching since the beginning remember we saw both of these men in episode 6. Michael Oku beating the number 100 seed Pete Dunne with a super kick, and Sydal.
Oh, you mean Butch?
I'm sorry, I do mean Butch. That's all he's ever been known as.
The Brawlers or something? I don't remember. Their name, they've got like a weird name now. Well, not a weird name, just a generic name.
Right.
There's been a lot of generic stuff in WWE lately. Like Alexa Bliss's new theme. It just sounds like creator wrestler music.
Yeah. I miss her old, like, the music she had when she was with,
it was
Murphy,
cool. It
like,
hyped you up. It had those, like, I think, like, maybe Naomi's music is one of the ones that, to me, still, well, who knows? Might not even hear it anymore. But
right.
I really love the whole, ooh, nice powerbomb counter. Just that, like, it builds up, it hypes, and then the beat drops, and then she just goes into, like, the glow dance, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm hyped.
Yeah. But for all we know, now she's going to come out to Doink's music. Canadian Destroyer from Oku, followed by a big moonsault. 2, not quite enough. Mentioned Oku beat Dunn back in episode 6. On that same episode, Matt Sydal beat Great Okan. So we'll, if Oku wins, it'll be his second straight upset. If Sydal wins, he's the favorite. Oh, we're back to the half crab.
In fact, if you still listen, everyone, you can hear Great Okan yelling about it.
Oh, he's very not happy
about that loss.
22 weeks later.
He does not need a microphone.
No.
I think that every time he cuts a promo.
And the winner of this will face the winner between Evil and Yuma Aoyagi, which is a match we will see later on tonight. Another big moonsault from Oku.
A lot of high flying from Michael Oku.
The OJMO, which I looked up at one time, but I don't have it in my notes, so I don't remember what that means.
Ojmo.
Yeah. Yeah. Orange Juice, Missouri.
The original Julius Merving Otaku.
Pop-up powerbomb, but Sydal's in the ropes.
I gotta say, of all the rules that get enforced, the rope break is perhaps our most enforced rule.
Oh, almost certainly. Because
Nice
it's definitely not the don't bring weapons into the ring.
Or low blow.
Yeah. Big frog splash, but they're all up in the ropes.
That's not gonna happen. I mean, he flew, but that ruling's not gonna fly.
No. That doesn't fly here. We don't do that here.
Speaking of theme songs, AJ Styles probably has one of my favorites in WWE right now. His TNA theme stunk. I was never a fan.
I am.
Get ready to fly. And I'm like, all right, I know that what Dixie Carter's husband wrote this. Oh, I thought that was a tap for a second.
Drop him on his head instead. All right, you're not going to tap? We'll just keep hitting you in the head over and over again. AEW has had the most matches in the tournament so far. They have both of the most wins.
Mainly probably because they have the most talent of any roster.
Indeed.
Jesus.
They
and a little much, right? I'm not, like, crazy.
No, not at all.
Maybe if, like, they figure out what the plans are with Ring of Honor, would do, like, a legit draft of sending people over there, building a brand. Oh! He stole that super kick.
Sydal uses Oku's own super kick against him and gets.
I think he stole that guy's wallet.
Took me a second. I got it now. But yeah, so in addition to having the most matches at 77, they also have the most wins at 43 and the most losses at 34.
Huh.
So they're pretty much right in the middle of the pack in terms of win-loss record. Oku, of course, basically representing Rev Pro, even though we're not counting Rev Pro as since they don't really have like contracted talent.
I mean, they have the. Who isn't God, I can't remember their name. I know Zack Sabre Jr. previously was the British heavyweight champion.
Yes.
But then he dropped it to.
Hang on,
oh God.
It's
Will
bugging
Ospreay.
me too.
Will Ospreay, that's right.
Ospreay, yes.
Ospreay's trying to be champion of the world of everything by being British heavyweight champion, United States heavyweight champion, and then the world heavyweight champion in the New Japan.
And Oku is the undisputed British cruiserweight champion.
There you go.
Having defeated El Fantasmo back in 2020. He's held the title for 827 days.
I feel like, nice spinning Northern Lights suplex.
Don't really know what to call it. Yeah, I think that's probably about as accurate a name as you'll find.
Into a pin combo, too. I've never seen that before, actually.
No. Oku showing off some variants on some classic moves here.
You know what's cool is that we've seen more high flying from Oku than the former Evan Bourne and Matt Sydal.
Yeah.
And Matt has actually, even on TV, been doing a lot more of a ground game, which has been pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I recently learned that I am the same age as Matt Sydal. I had a moment of, it feels like he's been around forever. How old is he? Like, because he's literally been around like my entire adult life.
First discovered him in Ring of Honor as part of the stable Next Generation. Yeah.
Yes.
Him, Roddy Strong, who is in our main event.
Is indeed. That's going to be a heck of a match. But the Generation Next with Shelley and Aries and Jack Evans, and then went to Dragon. Another unorthodox pinning combination.
Rise.
Does it for Michael Oku. Master of the Half Crab wins it with an unorthodox pinning combination.
Congrats to Michael Oku.
The number 413 seed moves on to round number 3. They are calling that the 5-star clutch. I would agree with that. That's a very high quality pinning combination there from Oku, and Matt Sydal is eliminated in round number 2. 97% from the evaluation team over at Fire Pro. 18 minutes, 23 seconds. And we now have our 33rd participant in the round of 128. We are a quarter of the way through round 2 already, which doesn't seem possible, but
I know, right?
We are. Of course, these later rounds are going to go significantly faster since we're,
Yes, and we'll have some more specialty matches to fill in.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So we now know that the winner between Evil and Yuma Aoyagi later today will face Michael Oku. While I set up our next match, a couple of independent stars going at it in second round action.
We have a new friend of the show who's going to be on later.
We do indeed. Yeah, we our latest Twitter follower is Rey Escorpion from Los Mercenarios in AAA. That kind of blew me away because
I know, right?
he's a legit star. Not that our other indie followers aren't, but it's still wild to see.
He's definitely in that upper echelon of luchadors.
Yeah.
I've said it before to you. I feel like it's fun if like our entire fan base just ends up becoming the talent that's on the roster, that's on the show.
I'm okay with that. I would love to be like the topic of conversation in an indie show locker room. Like,
it's like, hey, did you make the show?
Yeah. Did you make it out of round 1? Awesome. Yeah, I got.
I mean, Michael Oku can now say that he defeated Matt Sydal.
Yeah. And Butch. 2-0 so far, which that's lost
who
number
has only
35.
ever been known as Butch.
Yes, we've always been at war with East Asia.
Just like, oh God, what's LA Knight's new name?
Max Dupree.
Max Dupree.
Yeah.
You know what? Just say he's the younger brother of LA Knight.
Right? Yeah. No, he's NY Knight.
I mean, I wasn't too thrilled with the LA Knight name either, but it grew on me. because it, followed that Eli Drake, and he could still do the whole same gimmick. He's
Right.
not going to do any of that with this talent management, although he will be a great manager.
Yes.
And maybe Max Dupree, the manager, will be completely different than LA Knight, the wrestler. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
Maybe.
talk to you.
Maybe.
You can obviously tell that Eli Drake's two favorite wrestlers are Stone Cold and The Rock, because
Yes.
everything he does.
Yes, he's done a very efficient
It's a very
job
good
of-
emulation.
Yes, it's like watching Triple H do his Ric Flair and Harley Race cosplay. It's very much inspired, and why wouldn't you be?
I heard
Quite
that like they actually told him like you can't do Triple H. It's too close to Double A with Arn Anderson, and he kind of looked at them like, "What?" Tell that to the 13-year-old that's in the crowd. They don't know
Right. Yeah.
at the time,
At the time,
and
Now
I
they
was
do.
that 13-year-old.
because all of wrestling history is available at the click of a button.
Arn Anderson has always looked like someone's dad, though. Like
yeah.
even in his 20s.
In his 20s, he looked 50. So now that he's in his 60s, he still looks like he's in his 50s.
Yeah, he looks fantastic.
He looks great.
Now, I am a big fan of the talent that is coming to the ring, both with Jamie Senegal and Mysterious Q. I have seen some highlights recently, Mysterious Q popping up on a lot of my feeds. Wow, what a moveset that to have a mind to pull off these kinds of maneuvers.
Yeah. Mysterious Q, Houston native. Not gonna. I mean, I guess Cage Match has his real. DeQuincy Quinn was his gimmick before he became the Mysterious Q under the mask. Ironically, he was also on The Masked Wrestler, wearing a mask over his mask, which was kind of a fun reveal. He took off the mask, and then there was another mask, and like, oh, it's Mysterious Q. Trained by the legendary Booker T, whose views on Sasha and Naomi we'll just ignore. But yeah, Mysterious Q definitely one of the rising stars on the independent scene. Only his second year on the 500. He was number 499 in 2020, all the way up to 205 this year. Not 205 live, because he weighs 209, so he wouldn't have qualified. And he's in there with the pride of, man, I apologize, I butcher this name every time. Rehoboth Beach, Delaware? Rehoboth? I don't know.
Don't ask me. I'm bad with names.
Jamie Senegal. Don't ask me. I'm just a girl. So, sorry, that's a Simpsons reference, not in any way mocking Jamie Senegal. Who,
And you know us, we're chock full of them.
Yes, indeed. You will be hearing fewer John Mulaney references on this show, at least for the foreseeable future. Very disappointed in John. My favorite stand-up. I'm glad now that I did not get tickets to see him when he comes to Nashville.
We'll let
that's
everybody else
Yeah,
catch up on that kind of news, because that's just tiresome to talk about.
it really is. It really is, especially when you got an actual out trans wrestler in the ring right now, Jamie Senegal. Which it still boggles my mind that of all the major quote unquote sports, entertainment in general, pro wrestling has become one of the most progressive.
Oh, absolutely.
There are still elements that are not.
Right.
But Jamie Senegal. I'm looking at her Cage Match profile right now, and they took. There was a. I can never remember. Oh yeah, so this would have been in January. Somebody actually left a comment on her profile because I guess they had her dead name listed as her real name.
Right.
And somebody commented like, "Hey, let's not do that," and it's been taken down. So good on Cage Match for not dead naming Jamie Senegal, and that makes me wonder if they've gone through and done that for others who have transitioned. I haven't looked at Nyla or gosh, why can I Edith Surreal?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we've seen just like the leaps and bounds that fan bases have made, and it makes me feel happy because it's just like you dig their character, you get behind them, no matter who they are.
That's right. Yeah, that's literally all that this.
Like at the end of the day, we just want to see a good wrestling match, and if you can do that, I'm gonna see it.
Yeah, and that's literally all that the quote-unquote LGBTQ agenda is. Like, just treat us like you treat everybody else.
I believe it's pronounced Libiquitia.
Ooh, Destroyer there.
Some people think that's a word and not in letters.
Delaware Destroyer from Senegal, but Q replies with the...
It definitely is a regional name move. Like, wherever you're from and you do that move, it's insert Destroyer. It's like how the top rope leg drop, whatever jam.
Yeah.
Like
the Alabama jam, the Tennessee jam.
Jersey jam if you were Balls Mahoney.
Not sure what that was, but...
it's kind of like a gotch pile driver.
Kind of, without the cradle.
Face plant.
Big moonsault from Senegal coming off the Delaware Destroyer. Suplex there from Q.
Ooh, submission.
Combo, sort of like an inverted Cobra clutch with more of a key lock rather than the choke. Pop up into the kick.
Ooh.
See,
eat defeat right there.
Yeah. Oh, and Q gets up to avoid the moonsault. He's a little woozy from getting kicked in the head. 2.9. I thought he was going to win it off the missed moonsault. Winner of this match will face the winner between Eric Young and Kento Miyahara, which is going to happen next week. So we actually won't know the winner's opponent after this match. We did mention our first matches, first round matches. Senegal beat Hiromu Takahashi back in episode 7. And Mysterious Q beat Devon Moore in episode 21.
That was a nice catch by Senegal. Went for the some kind of kick, I guess, and she turned it into a dragon screw.
Jeez. Oh, and a big top rope cutter from Q.
Cutter.
after having hit his mentor Booker T's axe kick, comes off the top with that cutter. He might get the pin off the Russian leg sweep. 2.9.
Oh, so close.
Another near fall. These two stalwarts of the independent scene. Okay. Q rolls her one way, rolls her back the other. I thought he was.
Well, it's all about angling.
Yeah. And maybe he thought he could get her dizzy enough to the point where he could pin her after.
I think the Q was playing to the hard game.
Oh man!
Oh,
Loki's gonna be mad. 1, 2.9. Man, a little bit of a lag there on that.
Stole my move.
Great Okan's still back there yelling. I don't know what Senegal just yelled, but he's got something in mind. Bro, oh my, this is a family show, JV. It's absolutely not a family show. We're gonna have Nick Gage on here in a minute.
I mean, that wasn't quite a Bronco Buster, but
no,
it certainly was gonna be something to piss off Q.
yeah, it's man, I hope
nice
Tucker
variation
Carlson
of a cutter there.
Get a copy of that clip. Ooh, tried for the discus clothesline, but Jamie just stepped away from it.
Ooh,
kind of a suplex into a Michinoku driver, and that's enough.
That'll do it.
15 minutes, 2 seconds. Mysterious Q just now getting up. That was a hard-fought victory. But Mysterious Q moves on to round number 3. 205. A vertical Falcon Arrow is what the game is calling that, which I guess that's a pretty accurate description of what that was. And like nobody kicks out
like
as
a
vertical
Falcon Arrow. I'm gonna say sit out Falcon Arrow.
Another 90 plus. That was a 91 on the Higher Pro rating system.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. So far, we're averaging a 94 between our first two matches. That's a pretty solid start to the show.
Awesome.
So far, we had
Congrats
one upset
to
and one
The
jump.
Mysterious Q.
Mysterious. And we're actually going to have our second intergender match here in just a second once I get it all set up. As we see DDT's Saki Akai, who we might start seeing in AEW. Now that
absolutely possible.
Now that Forbidden Door has been opened with Maki Ito showing up. As
I
part
was
of the
so happy to see Maki Ito again.
I love Maki Ito. She's so great.
The absolute like mayhem that she brings every time. Oh, so fun.
Yes.
So much fun.
She is.
And I was happy to see, like, even though everyone was like, oh, it could be Candice LeRae, or it could be, and when it was Maki Ito, the response was, yeah!
Oh, yeah, it's Maki Ito.
Like, yes, this is great, too!
Yeah, we are also happy with this.
I was happy to see that.
Yeah. Again,
I also love the spot where
Twitter.
she just pops her head up and just slams her head into the turnbuckle.
Yeah. She's great. I love me some Maki Ito.
She does the same. She does the move that Hanma does with the falling headbutt, but
The
the smile.
Kokeshi, yeah. I always forget that there is no cage match profile for Billy Dixon for some reason. Don't know why.
Billy, if you're out there, give us some facts.
Yeah. Get yourself on cage match. Got a little info. I've got his history in the 500. I've got his obviously I've got his first round results. This is actually Dixon's second intergender match of the tournament, which we'll get to shortly. But first, Saki Akai representing the Eruption stable in DDT. She a multi-time Iron Man heavy metalweight champion. Interestingly, her book, her photo book, Lip Hip Shake, also held the Iron Man heavy metalweight title, having defeated the Young Bucks autobiography Killing the Business on a DDT show last February, before the book was then pinned by... I don't have that, unfortunately. But, yes, the title was held by her book and by her within the evaluation period. Akai was on episode 6, actually put on a 100% quality match with Mystico before pulling off the upset with a code red. Did you order the code red? Yeah, damn right I did. And she is in there with Billy Dixon, who's going to be looking to land his Bodega Press finish. He used a Freebird pile driver to knock off Davien in episode 21, not that long ago. Only a 90% for that one. But yes, he is the Fight Club, or I guess the Phoneged Club, because the I in Fight is a 1. So he's the Phoneged Club Chocolate City champion, having defeated Mr. Darius Carter in a 2 out of 3 falls match at the Cassandro Cup for IWTV last year. Saki Akai mentioned representing DDT. DDT has gone 9-3 so far in the tournament, the second best record of any promotion with 5 or more matches. Topped only. Ref bump.
Oh no,
Ryogoku
when our
Wada.
refs go down, they go down for the wind falling.
They do. They do. I was going to say this would be the time to break the rules, but they just break the rules anyway. I intentionally did not eat breakfast this morning because I know...
You fool!
Because I know what's going to happen in that Nick Gage LA Park match later is going to turn my stomach.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not going to want anything in there. The the winner of that match will face the winner of this match.
Well, I mean, it can't be worse than Joey Janela perhaps setting his foot on fire recently at GCW.
I missed that. How did he...
Flaming super kick.
Oh, God. All right.
Set his boot on fire to hit a super kick on Drew Parker. Got the kick. His foot did not go out, though. The boot was still on fire.
All right.
Took his boot off. Foot was still on fire.
Jeez.
And they were able to extinguish it, though.
Man.
Eventually. Janela's insane.
He's a bad boy. Meanwhile, on the floor, Billy Dixon just... They be clubbering, Tony.
He tweeted afterwards, though, trying to go to bed, but it still won't go out. $36 at the vending machine on 7 bottles of water.
Jeez.
Tried WebMD too. Any suggestions?
Wada's bloody. I didn't notice.
Oh, jeez.
When he came up from that ref bump. I mean, it was, Billy Dixon's not a light heavyweight. He's a big meaty boy slapping meat. So. Kick to the midsection. I love Billy Dixon's gear.
Oh, yeah.
It reminds me of like Men on a Mission.
I was just gonna say that.
Or the Nasty Boys or PN News. Just like one of those like 90s hip hop gimmicks.
Absolutely. It's like Yo MTV Raps.
Yes. Oh, she's going for that code red. This is how she beat.
Oh my goodness.
That's how she won in the first round against, was it Takahashi? No, Mystico. Ooh. Probably got a little lucky there. Ooh, except for Dixon dropping a giant elbow across her spine.
Ooh.
And just stomping. Oh,
What?
wow. Akai turns that Huracan Rana into a triangle choke. I've never seen that.
That was really cool. I really like that combo.
Very cool. And then an STO. Pump kick. Akai
She is manhandling him.
putting in her comeback here. And Dixon just like, nope, hold on. I'm just going to punch you a bunch.
So many lefts, you're begging for a right.
And a massive splash off the top rope.
Oh, man.
2.9. I thought for sure that was it. Step up Enziguri. Almost a shining wizard, just without the running start. Going for that code red again. Boom. 2.9.
So close.
Kicks out again. Lots of near falls here so far.
Dixon has been really hitting up those combos.
Yeah, Dixon. I think Dixon knows he can't. The only way he's going to beat Saki is to keep her grounded, and the only way he's going to do that is with power moves and just big strikes.
But Saki has those combo breakers.
Oh God! Just a PK to the spine. And an elbow.
I would love to see a spot, like a comedy spot, where somebody does like the Virtua Fighter loss, where they go.
That feels like something Chuck Taylor would do.
Yeah. I always won that game by ring out. Like I would just push the opponent.
Oh yeah. I was never very good at the actual like fighting part of it, but I was a decent sumo wrestler. Up to the top. Big superplex from Billy Dixon. That might, nope, he's just gonna pull her up. For sure he would have gone for the finish there.
Again,
adding more punches.
combos.
Off the
The
ropes.
more I talk about combos, the hungrier I get.
Yeah, I would not be opposed to some cheddar cheese inside of a pretzel at the moment.
I'm all about the pizza flavor.
Ooh, the pizza's good. The pizza's very good.
See, this is smart. Just taking some time,
Yeah,
get some composure.
absolutely. Catch your breath. Saki's been making you run ragged so far.
It's one of the benefits of a 20 count. You get a little more time. You have no time if you're wrestling at Terminus.
Kick to the back of the head. That's right.
1, 2,
have
3.
the-
Oh crap!
You have the opposite of time. big elbow from Dixon.
Jesus.
Oh, and then just a kick to the
Oh,
midsection.
that was a little low.
Might have been low. Hard to tell from our hard cam, but
It's either the height difference or,
Yeah.
intentional.
I'd like to think it wasn't intentional, but it might have been. She might know she can't stand toe-to-toe with Billy, and she's got to take advantages however she can.
I mean, everybody knows they got to do whatever they can, to get to that number one spot.
That's right. Dixon into the corner again, stomping a mud hole in him and walking it dry. Choking him with that
Nice.
probably size 4 boot. I've been watching a lot of old, just, since I'm in training to become an actual wrestling commentator, I've been watching the greats, watching a lot of Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan stuff from the 90s. And, man, they really like talking about how big guys' feet were back in
Get
those
yourself
days.
some Mid-South tapes, too.
Mm-hmm. I wish there was more Florida stuff available online.
Oh, but
I
a
really
nice,
like Gordon Stoller. That shoulder-mounted power slam from Dixon. That Oklahoma Stampede, which always makes me think of Jim Ross's, hip-hop classic. Boom, boom, my ass. It was the Oklahoma Stampede for Dixon that wins it.
By the way, Billy Dixon has listed himself on Twitter as Billy No Belts.
Oh no, did he lose the Phoneg
Yeah, I
Club?
believe
Chocolate?
so. Don't worry, Billy, you'll get it back.
Yeah. But, unfortunately, by virtue of winning, I mean, it's always a good thing when you win, but you will have to face the winner between Nick Gage and LA Park. That
God
match will
have mercy
happen
on your soul.
later tonight. And that match, your match will happen in round 3. Whew. Good luck, Billy.
Not for the faint of heart.
No. And if you feel like we're kind of overselling this, then you did not see Nick Gage's first round match against Brett Eisen that went 48 minutes and was probably the grossest non-death match I've ever seen in a video game.
Yeah.
They
just kept bleeding.
Yeah.
Stop, he's already dead.
And yet they both, like Matt Hardy, could not die.
Or Miles.
Or Miles. Miles don't die.
Miles, comma, don't die.
Right, yes, that's how it appears on his driver's license. But yeah,
I've actually, speaking of Don't Die Miles, I've been watching Paradigm Pro Wrestling, one of his primary promotions that he works for. Very interesting, because it really is like that whole old UWF's work shoot style, and it's kind of it's fun to watch because it's got like a UFC vibe to it, but with just enough of the traditional wrestling. And it's not for everybody, obviously, but I check it out just because it's just, well, I like to have a buffet of wrestling styles.
That's the best thing about wrestling, is if you don't like one thing, don't watch it. Watch something
There's
else.
Plenty of things for everybody, especially nowadays.
For all its
Thank
faults,
goodness, because for 10 years there was nothing but one.
we were in a wrestling desert there for a while, but the advent of streaming has been just a godsend for wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Here comes if she wins, I'm gonna have to download a new Kylie Ray, because that's not a great likeness of Kylie Ray.
Kylie Ray looks like she's wearing a Pikachu outfit.
She kind of does, yeah, and she also looks very angry.
Which
Not
is
at all
ironic.
like the smiley Kylie Ray that we are all used to watching in the NWA. And unfortunately, she drew Kushida for her second round opponent here. The relatively newly free agent.
Yeah, I'm very
Kushida.
interested to see that career trajectory. Possibly an appearance at Forbidden Door I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Oh.
Kushida
Yeah.
versus Dante Martin. Ooh.
Ooh, I like that. The thing is, like, there are so many opportunities for him right now. He could go back to New Japan. He could go to AEW. He could go to Impact and reunite with Alex Shelley. There's
Make a hell of an X Division run in there.
yeah. Can you imagine Kushida against Trey Miguel?
I want that now.
Kushida against Steve Macklin. Kushida against Austin.
Loving Trey Miguel on Impact.
Yeah.
He is just, it's amazing what that guy does in the ring. I'm kind of glad he doesn't have to worry about being a part of a tag team anymore. All considering one of the party members.
Yep. Yeah, he maybe dodged a bullet there by not making the jump with Zachary Wentz and what was Wesley's Desmond Xavier.
Yeah. You are almost fading in and out of existence.
My parents keep almost not meeting in 1974.
It's our second Back to the Future reference.
Actually,
you can remember where the first one was, folks.
Friday was actually the 50th anniversary of their first date.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Pretty wild.
And the Enchantment Under the Sea dance.
That's right. Although they were the Jeffersonville High School German Club retreat at a local state park.
Which is also known for where rock and roll was invented.
Yes, that's right.
Thanks to some plucky young kid.
Fortunately, Marvin Berry was in attendance.
Yes. The famous one of the Berries.
Yes, that's right. Unfortunately, suffered a hand injury and was unable to play guitar. But fortunately, the white man came along to invent rock and roll.
I don't think that's what the movie was implying originally.
No. But it
is a bad optic later on.
In hindsight, it is funny and unfortunate.
Yeah.
Not unlike how why am I blanking on his name? Ryan Gosling saves Jazz in La La Land. Just not a great look.
No.
We mentioned Rey Escorpion earlier. The winner of this match will face either Rey Escorpion or Drew McIntyre in round 3. Kushida beat Taiji Ishimori back in episode 5 with his small package bomb. And Kylie Ray defeated Kaito Kiyomiya in episode 5. Kaito Kiyomiya is now, I think, hold on, I may be wrong. That might be Masa Kitamiya. I get them confused. Kiyomiya and Kitamiya. Very similar names. One of them just teamed with Michael Elgin to win the GHC tag team titles. That was Masa Kitamiya.
I didn't realize that Michael Elgin had returned to wrestling recently.
Ditto. Yeah, that was the first time I had seen his name on a card since stuff happened.
Since Impact, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, they defeated El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. and Rene Dupree to win those titles.
Really?
Yeah. Rene Dupree was one half of the tag team champions in Pro Wrestling Noah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Another person I didn't realize had still been wrestling.
Yep, still kicking around.
Rene Dupree.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
That's a hoverboard block?
I think so.
Or whatever he's going to call it now that he doesn't have to be on the nose about it. The Sakuraba lock is what he called it before.
Well, at least he's not part of a tag team called Jacket Time anymore.
Yes, indeed.
Holy cow. NXT proving still that North American wrestling has no idea how to treat Japanese talent.
I had such high hopes after Nakamura's debut.
Yeah.
But, as the Beatles once said, I should have known better.
As the Beatles also once probably said, Paul, shut up.
Yeah. Will you quit singing about scrambled eggs, Paul?
I saw a video of, I think it was like George Martin listening to perhaps the worst single ever, and it's their weird Honey Pie song that's like all like weird twangs and just going, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, there was definitely a point toward the end where it was like, okay. Like, you've also given me the long and winding road. I will let you have wild honey pie. I don't know why.
Yeah, this will be a single.
Yeah,
Whoa.
okay, sure. Revolution 9. Yeah, go for it. Can I also have a Let It Be on top of that? Great. Yeah. I do think they did their best work later in their career, but it was not all winners.
No. There can only be one winner, and that's whoever wins this match.
That's right. And then wins
And then
the
the
next
following
match, and
match,
the next
and
match, and the next
The
match.
match after that, and then
Yeah.
after that.
I think, what did we decide?
That's how tournaments
winner. That's right. That is in fact how tournaments work. The winner of the tournament will have had to win 9 matches.
That's crazy.
Assuming that there's no, buys.
Right.
I mean, well, that's true. There were first round buys. So if it's one of the top 12 seeds, they'll only have had to win 8. And if they run into a, Bam Bam Bigelow at King of the Ring 93 scenario, they only have to do 7.
But you won't
pretty
get
much
that type of shenanigans from us.
Yes.
Our shenanigans are fun and cheeky.
That's right.
Their shenanigans are just childish, mature.
Okay, I did not think that Kylie was in the ropes for that moonsault, but Mio Shirai certainly seemed to think so, and
Again, ref's discretion.
yeah. So Kushida just ties her to the tree of whoa, and kicks away at the midsection.
Hey, you. You're really gonna pull a Blossom reference?
I did, yeah. That was
A Joey Lawrence.
Joey
reference?
Lawrence. Yeah.
Again,
Cross
who is
arm
this
breaker from Kushida is enough to pick up the win. Kushida moves on to round number 3. Kylie Ray is out. 132. Kushida over. What was Kylie's ranking? 388. Smiley Kylie Ray. 100% from Fire Pro. 14 minutes, 23 seconds with the roll fly cross arm breaker. Don't know why it's a roll fly, but so it is written, so it shall come to pass. Quote the Raven, nevermore. Never really understood that, but so now we know Kushida will face either Drew McIntyre or Rey Escorpion in the 3rd round. We will see them compete after our halftime break. But we do have one more match before we take our little 5-minute intermission. And will hopefully not be a squash. I like Jordan Clearwater from what I've seen of him in the NWA and on New Japan Strong. But he, unfortunately, drew the short straw and has to face Powerhouse Hobbs.
I really hope that, they name that tag team Absolute Powerhouse, because it's just right there.
Yeah, that's what he is.
Ricky
Absolute
Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, the Absolute Powerhouse. I don't care what anyone says. Ricky Starks is the only man who could pull off the look that he does anytime he's on TV.
Yeah. Do I have one?
Don't you dare disperse the name of Ricky Starks. But by the way, Hobbs has just become a titan of a physique.
Yes.
Since his debut.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's happened relatively gradually, so you may not have noticed if you've been watching week in and week out. But you look at the before and after pictures now, and like, oh, wow.
Yeah, living up to the name.
Yeah. So here comes Jordan Clearwater, the Golden Boy. As I mentioned, he's representing Strong in the tournament, but he also works a lot in the NWA. He defeated Blake Christian back in episode 21 with the Cobra Clutch. He is one of my edits, so I apologize, Jordan, if it's not the best likeness you've ever seen. And then there's Powerhouse Hobbs, who defeated Masha Slamovich way back in episode 6.
Love that name.
With an Oklahoma Stampede of his own. We've already seen one of those from Billy Dixon today. We'll see if Hobbs repeats that. Referee is WWE's John Cone. I recently learned while I was doing some roster updates that a lot of the WWE referees are not at WWE anymore. They've got a kind of a new batch of referees. Yeah, so John Cone is still there. But let's see, who did I recently have to move to the free agent pile? Derek Moore, now a free agent. Artemis, formerly Olympe Margot, now a free agent. And then Scott Armstrong had to move previously. But yeah, WWE, not even the referees are safe from the wrath of Nick Khan.
The spreadsheet of doom.
Yes. So, little bit of a size.
Taking over as chief brand officer, I believe, now?
Yes.
Or until Stephanie decides to come back?
Stephanie is taking a leave of absence to focus on family. We are not one of those sites that will speculate on what that means.
I just think she just wants some time off.
I just think she wants some time off. She's been working nonstop since she was a teenager, basically.
Yeah.
So
where to, Stephanie?
Right. Yes, exactly.
One of my favorite endings to a show.
Yeah.
Because of how ridiculous it was.
Yep. Ignoring, how did that camera get in there?
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, a classic Undertaker line.
WWE really trying to live up to, we make movies.
Yes. Followed by the Black Wedding and roll through into the ankle lock. I didn't know what Hobbs was going for there, but Clearwater decided, I don't care what he's going for, I'm turning it into an ankle lock. Yeah, the complete nonsense that is Vince hiring the Undertaker to kidnap his own daughter and set her childhood teddy bear on fire.
Yeah.
And then strap her to a symbol and try to marry her in an occult ceremony, only to beg Steve Austin to come out and save her.
My own family believed me.
It was...
then why did you try to... what was the point?
Why? We've talked about it before.
Off Austin.
We've talked about it before on this show about don't start the story if you don't know what the ending is going to be.
Yeah.
And that's a classic example of that.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, though, as much as I love Christopher Daniels, if he had shown up as the higher power character, I would have been like, who?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know him from anyone then. And I don't think a lot of people did. And,
no.
You know.
It would have been cool.
Would have been cool. Like, in retrospect, sure. And may have launched some early career, but no one could have known.
Nope.
I think remember Snake had been even rumored to have been.
Yep.
Which now that would have been cool.
Jake and the other Don Callis was the other name I'd heard being thrown around because he had just done the Jackal character.
Jake would have been the only one who.
Jake would have been awesome.
Like the only one that would have actually garnered a reaction.
Yes. Agreed.
Because that man knows how to be a bad guy.
Yes. Oh man. Yeah. Talking about going back and watching some classic stuff. Jake Roberts, after his. Even as a babyface, like the feud with Martel in '91 was fantastic. But man, after he turns on Savage, or I guess he turns on Warrior, locking him in the casket, but then giving
Jake
the
is
wedding
also
present to Randy and Liz.
Jake's also responsible for Undertaker's first face turn.
Yes, indeed. Yep, Undertaker. He could abide by having a snake in a wedding present. He was fine with locking the Ultimate Warrior in a casket, but he drew the line at hitting Elizabeth with a chair.
I mean, you just don't do that.
No.
Elizabeth truly was royalty.
Yes. Yes. Attempted murder is fine, just as long as it's not the pretty lady.
It's a flawed storytelling system.
Yep. Yeah. There's a lot of questionable where you draw the line babyface turns in that era, but it worked. I mean, Undertaker and Jake was a good program.
Yeah.
And it really, really helped elevate Taker to being a top guy, which they arguably should have done before he won his first world title. But that feud really did a lot for Taker, and let Jake do some of his best storytelling stuff.
I got a question for you. Do you think that Hobbs is due for a title soon? Because I have a feeling him and Starks are going to get the tag belts.
I agree, and I think that's probably the best place to start. I wouldn't inject him into the TNT scene since that's kind of a mess right now.
Give him that Miro run and just have him destroy people.
I was hoping Miro was going to be the wild card, but happy to see Johnny Elite.
Miro just got booked on a TV show, so
yeah, we're
doing
probably
some show for CBS now or something.
Going to be intermittently seeing Miro, which is fine.
Yeah,
good
he'll
for
be
him.
back.
But
And in greater numbers.
Man, that's right. But man, I miss God's Chosen Champion. He was so good in that role.
Apparently, his God forsook him. Forsaken. I don't know what the past tense of it is.
Forsaked.
Has
forsaken him. Yeah. Ain't with him no more. So, this match going pretty well here. Cobra Clutch from Clearwater. That's the move that he used to beat Blake Christian 7 episodes ago. But Powerhouse
kind of hard
Hobbs,
to get a full grip of a submission around the neck of Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yes.
When you have gigantic shoulders
yeah,
that are the length of someone's body from end to end.
Hobbs's trapezius muscles are basically a trapezoid. You can't. How do you get any sort of grip on that?
A true immovable object.
Yes. Indeed. Speaking of immovable objects and simulated video games, have you been following New Legacy Inc.'s Wrestling Games Grand Prix Championship that they've been doing?
I have seen that Edge is currently their title holder for that.
It's actually now Rikishi.
Oh, okay.
Rikishi has it now, and he defended it against. Who did he defend it against? He defended it this week. They do it every Friday afternoon. And at one point in the match, whipped him off the ropes. They collide and just stand there for 49 seconds, just looking at each other.
It's the ultimate stare down.
Yes, before Rikishi did eventually end up winning the match, successfully retaining the title. It's going to bug me that I can't remember who it was that he was against. Oh, Fred Durst. He was defending it against Fred Durst.
I forgot he was a playable character.
He was in, was it either Just Bring It or Shut Your Mouth, one of the early SmackDowns. Yep. Because they always, the way that it works is, the champion, can only defend it in a game that they are in the game. No CAWs. But they can defend it in any game they've ever been in against anybody else that's in that game. And so after each match, they put a poll, or not a poll, but in the comments, who should they defend against next? What kind of match? What game? So after his last victory, somebody commented, "Oh, now he's got to defend the title on whichever SmackDown game it was against Fred Durst." And they did, and it was fun because I forgot how insane Fred Durst's moveset was. He was basically Amazing Red.
That was a weird.
Yeah,
like he was OP on that game.
Yeah. So they always have the champion comes out first with the title, and then they go to the ramp, and they obviously John Blood and whoever the commentator is, they know who it is that's going to come out, but they play it up like they don't, and Roland starts playing and oh, it's the Undertaker, and then the car comes out on the stage and Fred Durst is on.
Yeah.
But Unstoppable Force and Immovable Object, Rikishi and Fred Durst having a 49-second stare down. Meanwhile, Powerhouse Hobbs just jackknifes the hell out of Jordan Clearwater. Oh, God! Go right through him with that tackle. 2, 3. Yeah, that's got to do it.
Steam-rolling spear.
Powerhouse Hobbs moves on as if there was any doubt. I'm sorry, Jordan. You hung in there. But Powerhouse Hobbs was not to be denied today. Ooh.
Oh man!
Carrying spine buster is what the game is calling that.
I mean, that was a spear.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say spear.
Yeah, I'm good with that. That's a much more accurate. I mean, yes, he literally carried him and did a spine buster, but it was much more of a.
It looked like just the worst, like the most devastating lineman tackle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. A pancake block from Powerhouse Hobbs. Just got a running start and just planted Clearwater. And that's 5 matches down. We now know that Hobbs will face the winner of our first match back from break between Bryan Danielson and Toru Sugiura. That should be a fun one. Also still to come, the aforementioned Drew McIntyre and Rey Escorpion, Evil against Yuma Aoyagi, Nick Gage against LA Park, Matt Jackson against Tyler Bate, and our main event, Big E and Roderick Strong. So big matches still to come. Thanks for joining us this week. We will be back in 5. And then there were 219. Going through and doing some stats from the first half of the show. We did have that Kushida Kylie Ray match was the 39th 100% quality match of the tournament so far. Of course, AEW going 1-1 in the first half of the show. Still has the lead for most wins and most losses out of any promotion. Because that, it makes sense.
So, during the break, I shared with Pat the footage of Joey Janela setting his foot on fire to perform a flaming super kick at GCW's Maniac show recently.
Yes, indeed.
He did that.
He did.
Why? Did he
not
look back at like the thumbtacks on the boot and be like, I can do better?
Yes. What about fire?
Yeah. Now hear me out. I set my foot on fire. And then what? And then I kick him.
Okay.
And then what?
So you get that that's not going to put out the fire, right? It's not like your boot is made of flash paper. It's going to continue to burn after.
He definitely was playing like NBA Jam or something. Just was like, what if I did that for real?
He's on fire.
He is literally on fire.
There was somebody, I don't remember who it was, but somebody tweeted recently, like, you see the NBA Jam logo, who are you thinking of? And I feel like I'm the only one that answered this, but for me, it's Micah Yosolino from the Mavericks.
Wow.
Because you always played the Mavericks first. Because they were the worst team in the NBA at the time. And so I just, I spent 90% of my time hearing Micah Yosolino. But again, maybe that's just me.
Apologies to Dallas Mavericks fans.
I mean, they were. They won
terrible.
like
They were absolutely
9
terrible.
games the year before, so. But yeah, Toru Sugiura, our first representative of Pro Wrestling Freedoms. He was, I think, an independent in the first round, but now is working primarily for Freedoms. So he is their first representative. He's
taking on Jesus.
Yes. He defeated Chris Sabin back in episode 6, which at a 75% rating is tied for the 7th worst match of the tournament thus far. So hopefully he can turn that around here against, the Flying Goat, Michael.
Pro Wrestling Jesus, as he looks like here.
Pro Wrestling Jesus, the number 36 seed in our tournament. Former number 1 back in 2014. D-Bry. Fave 5, Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, does not have William Regal at ringside with him because
I hope
no
he doesn't
seconds
injure
in this
himself for
tournament.
real, though. I hope he's okay, because I know that there was footage of him getting his foot caught,
Yeah,
but it didn't make the episode. So, but kudos to him and Eddie Kingston keeping it as real as it could be by just Kingston legit not wanting to help Danielson.
yeah, and then
two of them just
Moxley
being like,
trying to
"Get outta
push
here."
the ring off of his foot
Yeah.
because adrenaline, not the Cody Rhodes kind, but the able to push the ring kind. Danielson, way back in episode 6, defeated Bad Luck Fale. So this is his second straight match against a Japanese mainstay. And looking at Danielson's cage match profile, usually guys will have 1 or 2 trademark moves. He's got 6. The kettle mutilation, the lapel lock / yes lock / no lock, the elbow strikes, the roaring elbow, the running knee strike, and the repeating kicks. He
All
also,
of which spell death.
yes, just like the flag on that pirate ship.
Yes.
HBO Max.
Is fantastic.
I have not seen it yet.
Our Flag Means Death.
I have heard excellent things. I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
It's just great.
But yeah, and then Danielson, you look at the people that trained him: Shawn Michaels, Bobby Eaton, Rudy Boy Gonzalez, Tracy Smothers, William Regal, and Robbie Brookside. If that's not an all-star team of trainers,
you can't build a better wrestler than Bryan Danielson.
No matter how much JBL wants us to believe Randy Orton was built in a lab to be the perfect sports entertainer. I mean, I guess sports entertainer.
That's a difference.
Yep.
Randy Orton is a perfect sports entertainer.
Yep. And Bryan
Danielson is a perfect wrestler.
Rolling into a sort of modified cloverleaf there on Sugiura. Not to be confused with Sugiura-gun, the stable in shoot.
That was the one that is now Suzuki-gun, correct?
No, that is they're in Noah, and they're led by,
because I know Gun
a different Takashi Sugiura is their leader. That's also the stable that had Elihoda De Wagner Jr. and Rene Dupree, as well as Hideki Suzuki, the former Hachiman in WWE, Kazuyuki Fujita, Kazushi Sakuraba, and the legendary Kendo Kashin are all part of that stable in Noah. So it's not that Sugiura. That's Takashi Sugiura. This is Toru.
Okay.
Different Sugiura.
My mistake.
Former basketball player. His nickname, according to Cage Match, is the man who carves hearts.
Ow.
Which is a terrifying gimmick.
That's a serial killer nickname.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's what you hear on a True Time podcast.
Yes. Or Drax trying to describe the 10 rings. Oh, almost a 3 count there for Sugiura. Danielson, of course, part of that first class at the Texas Wrestling Academy. Shawn Michaels' school with Rudy Boy Gonzalez and Funaki.
It's very weird, by the way, watching those videos and seeing Danielson in a mask as the literal American Dragon.
Uh-huh.
But again, him versus Spanky.
Yep.
The formerly we thought he wasn't crazy Brian Kendrick.
How little we knew.
Even then, you just saw this naturally amazing talent that looked like a veteran no matter when he was in the ring.
Yep. Yeah, there was always something special about him. In that same class, Kendrick, Paul London was part of that class. Why am I blanking? Matt Bentley, who went on to moderate success and Impact.
You mean Michael Shane?
Michael Shane, yes. My trainer, AJ Gallant, was part of that first wave of trainees at the Texas Wrestling Academy. Definitely
TWA.
TWA definitely churning out the stars there in the early 2000s before Shawn found God and went back to WWE.
My dad used to work for TWA. The actual airline.
The airline? Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I miss having a bunch of airlines. My family was very much a Northwest Airlines family. They just
I loved TWA's airport in Queens. It was really, really cool and old school and had a weird retro futuristic style to it.
Nice.
Now it's a museum / restaurant. You can eat out of one of the old school planes there.
That's fun.
It's actually pretty cool.
It's a fun idea. Yeah, obviously, Midland, Michigan does not have an airport. Well, it does. It has a very small regional airport.
As a place where planes land and take off.
Yes. But we had to go to Freeland, which was sort of the midpoint of Midland, Bay City, and Saginaw, to go to the MBS airport, Midland, Bay City, Saginaw airport. Usually,
you went to an airport that's literally mid.
Yes, it was literally the mid. Oh, Sugiura!
Whoa!
has upset Bryan Danielson. Sorry, we talked right over that.
Surprised. I thought he was going to kick out of that suplex combination.
I did as well. My apologies, Toru. But Toru Sugiura moves on to round number 3 with a Canadian face buster.
Okay.
Fire Pro.
I don't know how many Canadians have busted faces with that move.
Well, I mean, we know that the man that carves hearts just did it. The number 292 seed, Toru Sugiura. Type, I would get that in the spreadsheet.
That is
not to be confused
prize
with
of the show right there.
Yeah, that is definitely our biggest upset of the day so far. And now we know Toru Sugiura will be faced. I believe that sets up him versus Powerhouse in round 3, which is interesting. Ton of momentum on Sugiura's side. Anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation. Wait, no.
The most dominant force in sports entertainment. He records
Daddy Magic
every week. He records a new one every week.
No.
Speaking of sports entertainers, and someone who, well, may possibly be getting a title match at the UK pay-per-view. I will always call it pay-per-view. I can't say anything else.
You mean the premium live event?
Premium live event. Is going to take on one of our new best friends.
Yes, indeed. If for no other reason than we're very afraid of him.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the scariest men in Lucha Libre AAA worldwide, Rey Escorpion, which literally means
respect to the King of
Scorpion King. Yes.
King of Scorpion, Scorpion King. Haku Machente.
Oh, man.
The only Egyptian I know, and I don't even know if it's correct.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Other than the word that Jonathan gets wrong and tries to... a metaphys! That's it. It's the one symbol that he can't figure out.
Everything I know about Egyptian mythology I learned from the Great Movie Ride and Stargate.
Oh, see, for me it was 1999's The Mummy.
Mummy's great.
Many awakening for many people of my age in that movie. Yes. Figuring out what they're into in terms of people.
Yeah, that's fair. That's certainly fair. I will admit to having had thoughts about Rachel Weisz.
Listen, that's peak Fraser. That's peak Brendan Fraser. There's no question. But let's talk about a man who, has now become our best friend. So we may be a little biased.
Maybe a little.
Scorpio. Taking on, I guess he's still the chosen one?
Apparently. So
how long can you be the chosen one before you've been, like, they choose someone else? So I'm pretty sure Roman's been the chosen one.
Roman has been the chosen one for quite some time.
They have literally acknowledged him.
That's true. My geode must be acknowledged.
I think, though, that Drew probably is going to be either going into the show as champion or leaving the UK as champion. I don't think there's really any other way. I mean, no offense to Sheamus, but, he's got the whole thing with Rich Holland and Butch as their, fighting newsboys in the back alley of London, apparently. I don't know what the gimmick is. It's just...
the last surviving members of the Peaky Blinders.
Somebody saw a version of Oliver, and they're like, yeah, let's do that.
Please, sir, may I have a push?
Please, sir, I want some more wins.
Or
they took Pete Dunne seriously, and every time he said, don't care, they were like, well, why should we bother? He doesn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
He'll do anything.
So Rey Escorpion had a intra-promotional match against AAA's own Murder Clown way back in episode 5, defeating him with a package pile driver. Drew McIntyre had a first-round bye. Thus far, all 3 wrestlers that we've seen that had a first-round bye have advanced. Kenny Omega, Finn Balor, and last week Shingo Takagi have all moved on. And so we'll see if Drew can keep that up. Also, WWE at 42-31 has the best record of any promotion with 15 or more matches. And AAA at 9-5 is third best among promotions with at least 5 matches.
We're big AAA fans here on this show for sure.
Do love me some AAA.
Who is Scorpion currently Trios champions with?
La Hiedra and Taurus, I believe.
Of course, I knew that. I was just
you were testing me. Yeah,
testing you.
Oh, and Tejano Jr. I was thinking there was a 4th member. They're sort of doing the Freebirds thing.
And according to Tony Khan, the Trios Championship has been made, and it's sitting in his house.
Yes.
So what are you waiting for?
Oh, actually, according to Cage Match, they have since lost the titles. Who did they lose them to?
Say it ain't so.
Oh,
that kind of move would get you banned in the UFC, just punching them in the back of the head like that. But
they have apparently since lost the titles to La Empresa. I need to update that. So DMT Azul, Puma King, and Sam Adonis have the titles now.
Rey Escorpion is literally pulling no punches in this match.
And we would expect nothing less from the Scorpion King, who's a member of the Mercenaries. Future Shock DDT.
Oh!
That might be it. 1, 2 count only. Says referee Bryce Remsburg, if that is his real name.
Get off it, Jim. We get it.
Yeah. It was kind of funny the first time. Kinda.
He's got a Drew McIntyre deathlock on Rey Escorpion.
Insult to injury. And injury to injury.
Injury to injury.
Drew McIntyre, the number 4 ranked wrestler in the PWI 500 for the 2nd straight year. He was also number 4 in 2020. His lowest ever ranking was his first back in 2008, when he was number 291. Scorpion's highest was number 97 in 2014, and his lowest was 372 in 2019. So these are both guys that have been around for a while.
Wild punch arms. Punching arms. Wild punch arms.
Wild punch arms.
I think I tried to say forearms and punching at the same time.
Wild punch arms sounds like a weapon that you would earn from beating a boss in Mega Man.
Or a great punk band name.
See. Oh, I thought he was going to.
Oh, we're going to go see the Wild Punch Arms at
Hell yeah.
Oh god, I can't think of a music festival name.
2. I always wanted to start a band called Self-Titled Debut. And we'd call our first album Self-Titled Debut. And our first single would be called First Single. So
I mean, you could always do, like, the band Bad Company with the title song Bad Company off of the album
Bad Company. Yeah. No, I would want to hear, the DJs be like, all right, and here from their self-titled debut album, Self-Titled Debut, it's Self-Titled Debut with their first single, First Single.
It's like naming a restaurant, thank you for calling, how can I help you? So that they have to answer, thank you for calling, thank you for calling, how can I help you? How can I help you?
Big fan of that kind of, redundancy.
You look at the definition of redundant, it says, see redundant.
See also redundant.
See also. So many close calls.
Yeah, there's this clubbing or
just Rey Escorpion swinging wildly.
Punch. He's basically like Bart and Lisa in the hockey episode. I'm just gonna swing my arms. If you get in the
Don't get
way, that's not my fault. Another future shock.
Not quite able to get back up to his feet quick
Right
enough.
into the middle. Maybe wasted too much time. Nope, did
Oh,
not.
it worked.
Future shock does it. And Drew McIntyre, the man that built the Thunderdome.
Oh wow, that's
Not
kind of
literally.
sad.
But
Remember when Drew like went into business for himself and became the most popular star in the company
Mhm.
from
Yep.
one promo?
remember how he was rewarded?
Fortunately, yes.
So yeah, unfortunately, Rey Escorpion, just 24 hours after following us on Twitter, is eliminated.
Oh, don't set up a curse. Don't-
There's no curse.
Don't make
No
it
Die
a
Miles is
precedent
still in there.
where it's like the reverse of a Colbert bump or something.
Right. So yeah, Drew
Don't
McIntyre.
put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Drew McIntyre will face Kushida in round 3. That'll be a fun one. Looking forward to that. So far, not a ton of upsets. We've had 2. Michael Oku beating Matt Sydal, and then, of course, Toru Sugiura beating Bryan Danielson. But it's been relatively chalk so far today. And we will see if Evil can continue that streak in our next match. But speaking of streaks, he's going to be in there against Yuma Aoyagi from All Japan Pro Wrestling. All Japan still undefeated in this tournament. So we will see if Evil and the House of Torture, who are banned from ringside,
Yes, as per our rules.
yes, we do not allow seconds. We do not allow interference. There are technically disqualifications, but nobody's ever been disqualified.
Right, again,
that are
ref's
technically
discretion.
count-outs. We've had 2 countouts through 280 some odd matches.
Which is insane.
2.
But again, the 20 count does help.
Yes, it does. It does indeed. We've had 0 draws. All of our matches have had a winner.
It must go to a finish.
Yes. And if it doesn't, then we'll have the ghost of Howard Finkel come out to announce that this
Do we
match
have knockouts
must
enabled by any chance?
continue. Sorry, what?
Do we have knockouts enabled? Is
No.
that a thing? I wasn't sure.
It
if that's
is. It is in the game. I have it disabled because, in my experience, the game is a little eager to do knockouts.
Really?
So I
Would have been a
have
lot
them-
more shorter matches, it turns
Yes.
out, probably.
Yes. So yes, I do have them disabled. Yuma Aoyagi defeated the new United States champion Juice Robinson back in episode 6 with a top rope roll-up pin. And Evil back in episode 7 defeated Jason Strife with of course, the Everything is Evil. As I mentioned, All Japan 9-0 in the tournament thus far. Aoyagi trying to keep that going. Meanwhile, Evil trying to break a pretty rough start for New Japan. 24-28 through 52 matches, the worst record among promotions with 20 or more matches. Aoyagi sending him off the ropes, goes for the back elbow, but Evil blocks it. Evil going with the No Mercy and WCW Revenge countering move by just sticking your chest out a little bit, making you invulnerable to strikes.
Man, it's proven to be standard of test of time.
Indeed. That's unintended play on words with, evil and indeed. But nice taste of childhood there for a bit. Kai and Tai, racist stereotypes, but awesome ones.
WWE doing that? Never.
No. Certainly not in the grand tradition of the Machines and their promos, which largely consisted of them naming Japanese car makers.
Yeah. Glad to see so much has progressed.
Excuse me. Ooh. Apparently I'm allergic to racism. Oh, also, speaking of racism, hey, JR, please stop calling it the Orient.
Yeah,
That was weird.
that's very weird.
I know you're nervous about pronouncing Takeshita, but just don't.
Just let Excalibur do his
handle
thing.
it. It's fine. It's fine. Yes, I know that the name anagrams to take a shit, but it's Takeshita. It's not that hard.
It really isn't. He looked awesome, by the way, in that match.
Takeshita's a star.
Yeah.
He, with a little more exposure to U.S. audiences, like, he could be what Nakamura should have been. He can be that main event crossover Japanese star. He's got charisma, he can work. Yeah, big fan of Konosuke Takeshita. Thanks to that DDT partnership for AEW, which we've been singing the praises of since it was announced, because we're big fans of DDT to begin with, and now to see them partnering up. Finally,
I would love if just out of the blue, on a random episode of Dynamite or Dark or anything like that, they just try to explain the Iron Man Heavy Metalweight Championship. And just obviously it's not gonna. It would be something that does not work in AEW at all. But just to be like I feel like it put it on being the Elite. Have
that was exactly going to be my suggestion.
The Elite win the belt.
Let it be a BTE and Sammy's vlog
Secondary title.
Yeah, just have it bounce around the web shows. Yeah, because man. We love the Iron Man Heavy Metalweight title here at Pro Wrestling.
Probably
Simulated.
my favorite ridiculous title in wrestling.
Oh, Evil with the
that was the
arrogant cover on Yuma Aoyagi. Evil's been watching his Chris Jericho tapes. Eats a drop kick to the chest for his troubles. Big side suplex. Evil with the go behind. Aoyagi elbows him in the face.
I wonder what possessed the promoters. Oh, we got a suplex pin.
2.9, says Aubrey Edwards.
I'm wondering if the pitch for how that title went was just okay, so how about we just let anyone and anything win this belt? Mm-hmm. And they kind of didn't think of it until oh wait, anything.
Yeah. Well, they probably were like watching old, WWF hardcore matches and being like, okay, I like this, but what if
dumber?
What if the forklift that pinned The Rock became the WWF champion? Big
clothesline.
Drags Aoyagi toward the logo, doesn't get him all the way there. But another big clothesline, just trying to take Aoyagi's head off. We reach the 10-minute mark here. STO from Evil, right in the middle of the ring. That's everything is Evil. Only gets a 2.9. Big slam from Aoyagi. Release German suplex, dropping him on the back of the head. Man, he's just really targeting the top of Aoyagi, of Evil's head.
Evil can take a beating.
He can. I mean, he just took a German suplex and a DDT. I thought we were going to have the two guys laid out spot there for a second, but Evil got to his feet. Fighting spirit, trading strikes here. Now Aoyagi hulks up and hits the drop kick, but Evil with a discus forearm, a roaring elbow right across the jaw, but he's too... I hate to use the phrase blown up, but a little blown up to be able to make the cover. These two have been going hard for 12 minutes, and if it had been earlier in the match, he might have gotten the pin.
This definitely feels like a straight up fighting spirit type of match.
Yeah.
You hit me, I'll hit you harder.
DDT. Big fisherman DDT, but Aoyagi back to his feet.
That was almost like a knockout blow elbow to the back of the head.
Rolling Germans.
Another
Shades
great
of
name for a punk band.
redacted.
We are the Rolling Germans.
Are they opening for self-titled debut?
Yeah. Of course they are.
Man,
Woo!
plancha to the floor from Yuma Aoyagi. An elbow to the face.
Oh.
Yokute Obere, that fisherman brainbuster on the floor from Evil. But Aoyagi back to his feet after, has to have suffered brain damage from that.
Something.
Brained his damage with that one.
Of course, no brain damage. Damage.
Defense. On the floor with that Crayola oblongata. Another big German suplex from Aoyagi. Again, too close to the rope, so everything's evil.
In Germany, it's just called suplex.
1, 2, 3. That does it. The streak is over. All Japan eats its first loss of the tournament. And Evil, the number 29 seed, moves on to the round of 128. Great showing from Aoyagi and from All Japan in general. But Evil, just too much. Another 100% quality match.
Awesome. Only what we can expect from guys like that.
Right. The game will always reward people for just kicking the crap out of each other.
You can always guarantee for them to beat the living hell out of each other.
Indeed.
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 That phrase will never be able to not hear it that way.
Not at all.
We would just like to express that the violence that you're about to witness is not condoned by us here at Pro Wrestling Simulated, but we cannot stop it. I mean, yes, we could, because we
could.
literally have the controller.
I'm literally holding a controller that I can use to stop
we absolutely could stop it, but for the sake of argument and entertainment, remember, kids, don't try this at home.
Please don't.
Don't ever try it. In fact, just don't do it.
No. It's this is gonna be a rough one. Those of you that have been watching since the beginning, or at least since like episode 7, no doubt remember the brutal hardcore match between Nick Gage and Brett Eisen that went 48 plus minutes before Gage picked up the win. It was bloody. There were weapons, there was glass, there were chairs, there were chunks of tables. And
mass hysteria.
Gage won. Yeah, dogs and cats living together. Gage won that match. I'm sorry, it was episode 5, not episode 7. 48 minutes, 35 seconds. Of course, it was 100%. But now he's going in there with another guy who excels in matches that are ultra violent. L.A. Park, the patriarch of the Park dynasty.
L.A. Park will fight anyone, including crowds.
Including crowds. Which is why he's representing AAA and not MLW anymore. Yes, indeed. This is, so LA Park, longtime fans know him as La Parka. There's a new La Parka. He's no longer La Parka. He is LA Park. But yeah, the chairman of the board, WCW's resident chair-swinging luchador. He also competed in a 100% match in episode 5 when he defeated Alex Reynolds of the Dark Order. This is actually the second meeting between these two. Park won the first at an Absolute Intense Wrestling show back in 2018. So he is 1-0 against Nick Gage. Starting off about how you would expect, although a little more wrestly from Park. Paul Turner is our referee for this one. Park looked like he was going for a power bomb, but Gage backdrops out of it. MDK all day. Nick Gage.
Nick effin' Gage.
Nick effin' Gage. The leader of the second gear crew in GCW. the only GCW wrestler with a contract.
Yeah.
He is the only full-time wrestler on the GCW roster. Although, you know, they have many, many regulars, but literally the only one with an exclusive. He does work other indie shows, but the only contracted talent in GCW is Nick Gage. And LA Park just digging that knee into his spine and going for a suplex. Oh, that's a mistake. Oh, that's such a mistake. Nick Gage is on the floor, which is where all the weapons are. Oh, he rolls back into the ring. Gage resisting the bait. I really expected him to come up with a light tube or something.
Thank goodness.
Maybe the ring crew got wise and didn't put light tubes under the ring this time.
Yeah, we had to have a talk with them after that show.
Yeah, that was I think gross is probably the best word to describe it.
Yeah.
You can check out that match if you want. It is on our YouTube page, as are all of the matches. Not all of the shows in their entirety, but every match is on there. The last several shows are on there in their entirety because we figured it was just easier to do it that way than to upload individual matches as we had for the first few weeks. But that one is on there individually, so if you've got 48 minutes to kill and a strong stomach, you can watch Nick Gage and Brett Eisen in a match that, if Gage does not make it to the quarterfinals of the tournament, which, you know, the odds are against him, the odds are against everybody, it's a huge hill to climb, we will probably see a rematch of that match in an actual, like, a death match setting.
Absolutely.
At our grand finale show where we crown our first champion here at Pro Wrestling Simulated. Gage is trying to bust Park open with those punches. Not gonna lie, the fact that we've gone almost 6 minutes and nobody's bleeding yet is
pretty miraculous.
Is surprising. Yeah. Back kick there from Park. Gage is kind of, oh god, powerbomb lung blower there. 1, 2, only a 2 count.
Yeah, of the Park Familia, there is LA Park.
Yes.
There is El Hijo del LA Park.
Yep.
And then, who's the third?
LA Park Jr.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Once again, the confusing titles of luchadors.
Right, yes. There's El Hijo de LA Park, which is his shoot son. And then there's LA Park Jr., who is basically like, if LA Park can no longer fulfill the duties of being LA Park Jr. becomes LA Park.
Right.
Like how Rey Mysterio Jr. was Rey Mysterio Jr., even though he was not the son of the original Rey Mysterio.
He was the nephew.
Yes. But yes, La Parka, or LA Park, has gone by La Parka, LA Parque, LA Park, La Parka Original. As I mentioned, there is another La Parka now. Yeah, it's a thing. He has also worked under the names Adolfo Tapia, which is his actual name, El Asesino de Tepito, El Gringo, El Minero, Invasor del Norte 1, and Principe Island. 40 years of in-ring experience has LA Park. 56 years. Oh my God! Top rope powerbomb. Whatever the Mexican equivalent of the blonde bombshell from LA Park.
Wow.
Just murder, death killing Nick Gage.
Did it not look like he was about to fall on his head?
It very much did. Oh god, the double arm pile driver. That's how he beat Brett Eisen to 0.9. They're breaking out the big guns here. This is not the match I expected to see.
But it's just as tough.
Yeah, absolutely. They're still brutalizing each other. They're just doing it with their bodies rather than the weapons they would find under the ring. So far, Gage went to the floor briefly, but other than that, it has been contained to the ring. Very surprising.
Maybe they listen.
Maybe. The first time for everything. jumping suplex there from Gage, and then the forearm across the jaw. Standing switch from Park. Sort of variation on the octopus.
He's gonna break his arm.
Gage manages to
God,
get
I
out
thought
of
he was
it.
gonna pull like a
Pentagon.
Pentagon.
Yeah. Big DDT from LA Park. The top rope, that twisting moonsault again. Into a senton almost. Now that shoulder mounted spine buster. Back to the top. Back to that twisting moonsault. Just punishing the
how many times can one go to the well? But it turns out there's a lot of water there.
It's many. It's a very deep well. There's enough water to give an entire village.
Did you just choke slam LA Park?
Yeah. Okay. We're definitely seeing some unorthodox offense from these guys. Beyond what we would have expected. Is he going for it again? He is.
Of
and
course.
He hits it again. Because why not? I mean, when you're as big as Park is, 6'1", 302 pounds, that's a lot of weight coming down on your
Park
chest.
and much like the original Dr. Wagner, like Dave, just like these huge body luchadors.
Mm-hmm.
And you usually see like what typically are seen as like more of the smaller body deep frames, but El Santo, Blue Demon, they were all pretty jacked individuals.
Yeah. Rey Escorpion.
Yeah.
Taurus. There's definitely still a tradition now. A big power bomb from Gage, and then just gonna stomp on his crotch.
But then on the opposite spectrum, you've got like Vikingo, who, while a smaller frame, but it suits because the man does impossible things in the ring.
Yeah, El Hijo del Vikingo is very, in a lot of ways, feels like a successor to the Rey Mysterios and Eddie Guerreros.
Yeah,
like once he gets some American exposure.
Oh yeah, I would love
star.
to see him in the States.
Yeah.
Plus, that new Mega Championship is just awesome.
Oh, it's a good looking belt. Double arm pile driver again from Gage. 2, 3.
There it is.
Nick Gage wins it without weapons, without blood. A clean, other than that one ball stomp, a clean victory for Nick Gage. I was not expecting that at all.
No, not at all.
But Gage wins and now moves on, where he will face Billy Dixon in round 3. Double arm jumping pile driver is what the game calls it. That's what we're going to call it.
Great match.
Yeah, 92% rating. A very high rated show.
That should be better. I disagree with our match committee. Our match judges. I'm not even sure what we're calling them.
If you know who's behind the rating system, let us know, dear viewers. 2 matches left, and they are both going to be spectacular. Of course, we also thought this was going to be a bloody war, so maybe they will be spectacular.
You never know what you're going to get.
You never know. It's like a box of chocolates. It'll kill your dog. Wait, what? I don't think that's how that expression goes.
Today trying to make me die.
I think I got that expression wrong.
I already have seasonal allergy and asthma. You don't need to exasperate it.
I do what I can.
I had something for the first time. It was one of those like, oh, I'm getting older doctor visits, because they had me do a lung test, like an actual like asthma test.
Oh yeah.
And I hadn't had to do one of those since I was like first diagnosed with it as a kid. But essentially, you're getting a breathalyzer, and they're just seeing like how powerful your lungs are. And they said, like, I think like, oh, deep breath, I'm doing fine. And then they show me the results, and I'm like, oh my god. How am I alive?
Yeah, I mean, here's my prescription for cholesterol medicine.
Oh, God.
I'm right there with you on the being an adult.
Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't it great?
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, I'm taking 4 pills a day now.
Yep.
Because I've got my antidepressant, my anti-anxiety, and I'm also on a vitamin D supplement. Because,
Dude, me too.
Turns out that
I am
I'm not getting
terribly
enough sun.
deficient.
Yep.
Who knew that staying indoors all day would do something good?
Yeah. Yeah. And the doctor was saying that, like, I can't remember what the percentage was, but there's just like a shockingly high percentage of Americans who have vitamin D deficiencies because our lives are spent indoors.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it skyrocketed over the last 2 years for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine what might be the cause of that. Probably
here's
Biden's
the big
fault.
strong boy.
Big strong boy, Tyler Bate, one half of Mustache Mountain. He defeated EC3 back in episode 7 in a match that the whatever we're calling the judges called the worst match of the tournament so far.
Well, I mean, you can say that, but you know, I'm sure EC3 has controlled his own narrative for that whole deal.
That's true.
And here comes bad back Matt Jackson.
Matt Jackson defeated Naruki Doi back in episode 6 with a flying crucifix jumping bomb. This is the 3rd meeting between these two. Both previously they were all in tag matches, and Matt is 2-0. He teamed with his brother Nick and AJ Styles in the Shikara King of Trios tournament in 2015 to beat Bate, Trent Seven, and Daniel Maloney. And then 2 years later at the FCP Dream Tag Team Invitational, he teamed with Nick and Kenny Omega to beat Bate, Seven, and Pete Dunne/Butch.
Is Bate still with NXT UK?
Bate is still with NXT UK. Yeah,
Wow.
He and Seven are, I believe they may have won back the UK Tag Team title.
I wouldn't know because the WWE doesn't let me really know if it exists.
Which, honestly,
I don't think they think NXT exists anymore, to be honest.
I mean, I'm okay with that because it probably means that their jobs are safe.
I guess
think
so.
Let me see. Looking up
But that's
titles.
probably going to be axed soon, too. With all the
Well,
talents that they've been moving over from Europe over to live in the States.
Yeah. Ashton Smith and Oliver Carter beat them for the belts last month.
You know, it's
Word
a
of
shame, like, Tyler Bate had such a great run with that tournament leading to the UK Championship. So many good matches. Great, like, build to everyone getting behind him.
Yep.
And then, like, just right after that, there was nothing worth really watching. Yep. Like, they tried with NXT UK. Even I tried to follow it for a bit. And there were some stuff I was behind. I liked Gallus. I thought that was a good triple three-man tag. But, like, nothing popped out for me. I mean, there was Tony Storm, of course, and Kaylee Ray, who is now Scotland Fire. Because I don't know if you know this, but album means Scotland in Scottish. So she's just Scotland Fire.
Yeah, it's like naming an Irish wrestler Aaron.
Yeah. Her name is Ireland Jones.
My name is Aaron Gobra.
Aaron Land.
Aaron Land.
Aaron
Land. But anyway,
yeah.
setting aside the plight of NXT UK, these two traditionally tag team specialists. Matt, his high on the middle
nice
rope
tornado
DDT. Earl Hebner just sort of grooving in the corner to our background music. I'm barely still alive. Jackson with the roll up. That's all right. Take your time.
Damn it, I earned this.
Yeah. Makes me nervous. I'm looking at those turnbuckles, and those hooks are facing the wrong way. Somebody's going to get Cash Wheelered on one of those.
Oh, God.
That is very high among the list of grossest injuries I've ever seen.
But don't worry, our turnbuckle posts are round.
Yes, that's true. So there
we
are
don't
no.
have to make a point of it, though.
That's right. There are no corners. 4, in fact. Yes, we get it.
Some things I'm like, why?
Yeah. It's all right. It's all right.
Oh, Tiger Bomb.
Tyler Driver 97.
Or Tyler
2.
Driver, excuse me.
It's only Tyler Driver. Oh man, seriously, that was sort of like
Those punches, though.
call it?
Tyler Bate has some of the best straight punches.
bop and bang,
Yep.
knee wrench there from that dragon screw. And then an enziguri. I think he was going to try for it again, but instead Tyler kicked him in the head. Oh, Matt's like, oh, we're doing enziguris, huh?
I saw there's a great moment from being the elite just before Matt and Nick fought for the tag team championships, having vowed that they wouldn't compete for it if they didn't win. And on BTE they said, what if we don't win? And Matt goes, don't worry, I got it covered. And he shows
Oh,
he got it.
Matt wins it. He hit the unassisted Meltzer driver and then a splash for the win. That was very quick.
He was going
You
to
have time to finish your anecdote.
TNT Tag Team Championships was supposed to be the payoff to that.
Matt Jackson, flying body press, picks up the win, moves on to the 3rd round. The big strong boy Tyler Bate, unfortunately, his run comes to an end, and I believe that means that I think he was the last member of Mustache Mountain standing in the tournament. So I think one of our shortest matches, 9 minutes 42 seconds, doesn't quite crack the top 10, but it is only 4 seconds longer than the matches tied for 9th, which include last week's Sheamus and Forastero match. But
It looks like we've had enough talk.
it's time. Main event. We will find out immediately who will be facing Matt Jackson, because it will be the winner of this match.
And Biggie, we wish nothing but the safest and healthiest of recoveries in real life.
Yes.
And Roderick Strong, we wish nothing but the healthiest of career returns.
Yeah, I was going to say, we wish you the best in your future endeavors, but, man, I really hope they figure out what they've got with him before too long.
You
But
could
I'm
say
also
that
worried.
about legitimately anyone on that roster
That's very fair.
that isn't a developmental talent.
Yeah.
They made Roderick Strong go to wrestling school again.
Yeah.
That's the thing that bugs me about signing these guys.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they're wrestlers. They know how to wrestle.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the big reason the Bucks didn't sign with NXT. They even said, like, they can pay us all we want. We don't want to go to wrestling school again.
Yeah. I've already done it once. So, yeah, Roderick Strong representing the Diamond Mine. See, Little Nate Charles Robinson is our referee for the main event.
Diamond Mine, of course, being consistent of Roderick Strong, Julius, and
Brutus.
Brutus Creed, and now Damon Kemp, and no one else ever.
No, yes, it's only ever been them.
Only been them all the time.
We've always been at war with East Asia. Roderick Strong defeated Tai Chi back in episode 6 with a flying leg breaker. And Big E, the number 13 seed in the tournament, was the highest seed to compete in round 1, the highest to not get a first round bye, when he defeated Lulu Pencil with the big ending. This is the 3rd time these two have shared the ring. Roderick Strong is 1-1. Big E is 0-2. The reason for that is they were both in the Greatest Royal Rumble back in 2018. And both
I was going to
lost.
say, there has never been another match that they haven't faced each other in.
Yeah, the greatest Royal Rumble, and then there was a 6-man tag, an 8-man tag with the Undisputed Era against Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Heavy Machinery on an episode of SmackDown in 2019 that was won by the Undisputed Era. So that's why Strong is 1-1, while Big E is 0-2.
The Messiah of the Backbreaker.
Yes. You gotta wonder if he's gonna be able to do. Oh, I mean, so much of his offense requires picking his opponent up. Strong, very strong, as the name would suggest, but Big E, big meaty boy slapping meat. 5'11", 285 pounds. The Tampa native, just a big old boy. Well, Strong not having any trouble getting on for that Canadian backbreaker. Torture rack into the traditional knee style neckbreaker. Oh god, that was almost like a cradle shock.
It's hard to watch.
Chris Sabin matches.
It's hard to watch any of those kinds of moves, knowing what we know about Big E now. Oh,
plus that he's in there with Roderick Strong, who will take care of him. Muscle
Big
bomb press splash for Big E. That would have been a very quick match. Would have been the shortest of the tournament thus far, and I would have to think the game would call that the worst match of the tournament because it does.
They
not
don't like short matches.
No. They really don't.
It's like Gato books these things.
Yes. Or NXT, the black and gold version.
Listen, long does not equal better.
Nope. No. But
not every match has to be a Broadway match.
No. In fact, it kind of takes away some of the specialness when you do go that long. Yeah, I'm looking at the lists of the best match or the worst matches versus the shortest matches, and four of the 10 shortest matches are also on the lowest rated matches list. Namely, EC3 against Tyler Bate, but also Karrion Kross against Mr. Iguana from episode 2 was only 7 minutes 20 seconds. It is tied for the third lowest rated match of all time. Also, Killer Kross and AC Mack. Both of Kross's matches thus far have made it to both the 10 shortest and the 10 lowest rated. And then also another one I have lost since. Don't mind me, just doing research. Where is it? Just had it in front of me. Oh, Effie and Brandon Watley from episode 22 is the fourth or tied is the other match tied with Karrion Kross and Mr. Iguana for third lowest rated match of all time. It's also the 8th shortest. So, just proving my point, Germans love David Hasselhoff. I mean, wait.
My favorite Norm Macdonald bit.
R.I.P. Norm Macdonald.
Proving once again my point. Germans love David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff.
Which was the greatest payoff was when he actually showed up, and he says, it was like trying to get him to say it. Really? What do you think about Germans? Maybe for someone who's done years of work. He pulls out like a binder. Tons of research. Some may say have made a one-note career out of it.
And yet it was a different one note that cost him his spot on SNL. Because he would not listen to management when they told him to stop making O.J. Simpson jokes.
You can't stop Norm Macdonald from doing that. You crazy? I was watching a clip of him on Conan, like early late night with Conan, and he's interviewing someone who's like, I forget, she's promoting a name of a movie, and he's like,
I've seen this clip. It's with
Chairman of the Board.
Yeah, the Carrot Top.
Try making fun of that one, you psycho.
Yeah.
Is it spelled B-O-R-E-D?
Yeah. Oh, man. Norm was great. Samoan pile driver there for Big E. He's not even Samoan. It's cultural appropriation there. Big running knee to the face from Strong. I also love the... I I don't remember what it was, but Norm was on Conan, and he had just the longest, most rambling joke.
Yes, the grasshopper.
Grasshopper, yes.
The famous
So
grasshopper
good.
joke.
Takes forever to get to the punchline.
So
Keeps
brilliant.
going on tangents. Yeah, that is one of my all-time favorite Conan clips. Also, I don't know, maybe that's just like a genre of joke I love that just takes forever to get where it's going. The Gary Goldman's bit about the state abbreviations,
Yes.
is also one of my all-time favorite Conan comedy bits.
Is he going for the sick kick?
Nope, turned it into a sort of an Enziguri shining wizard. But yeah, I would have thought the stick kick too.
Belly to belly.
Belly to belly, now that big splash. 1, 2, 0.9. Roddy kicks out. Big E giving Roddy a round of applause. That was very impressive. Well done. Up top with him now. Superplex. No. Big E turns it, or Roddy turns it into a sort of top rope gourd buster almost. Big E just kicks him in the face.
Here it is. I thought that was the big
I thought he was going for the big ending as well, but instead he hits that Oklahoma Stampede that we saw Powerhouse Hobbs use earlier to get the win. Big belly to belly again, coming off the ropes. Big splash. 2, 3. That does it. Big E advances. Number 13 seed.
Here is your winner.
Oh, internet. Big E advances.
Etor Ewan.
Yes.
That's
why they call him Big
E.
Probably because they were afraid of how Vince would pronounce it. Again, flying body press is what the game calls it. It also calls it a 99%. So, big win here for Big E. Sorry, Roddy. Your woes continue. Time and Mine being what it is, and now losing in the main event of episode 28 of the 500 to Big E. Even you did get a 99% match out of the deal. Our second straight match. Both of our last 2 matches end with a flying body press. Who did it better? We'll find out in round 3 when Big E and Matt Jackson meet in the battle of the flying body presses.
That's how we're billing it, and that is how it will be promoted.
Yes, indeed. Again, so it is written, so it shall come to pass. 287 wrestlers have fallen by the wayside, which means 213 remain, and we will knock out another 10 next week as I turn my chair slightly to look at the whiteboard that I really should have right here.
Honestly, it just looks like you're looking at me right now.
Yeah, I am. I'm looking. Hey. I'm making direct eye contact while I read off next week's card, which consists of
like a bad CGI Seth Rogen.
As Eric Young takes on Kento Miyahara, Jonathan Gresham against Dolph Ziggler, Fred Yehai against Tatsuya Endo, Jey Uso against Psycho Clown.
Yes.
Rhino against Emi Sakura. The number, I believe, 5 seed. Kota Ibushi making his first appearance in the tournament after a first round bye. Taking on DMT Azul, 1/3 of the Trios champions in AAA. Nice. JR Kratos against Xavier Woods. Go Shiozaki against Chuck Taylor. Jungle Boy against Eichmann Shiro, and Gunther against Johnny Caballero / Johnny Elite / Johnny Mundo / Johnny Nitro / John Morrison / Johnny
Superstar
Retro.
John Hennigan.
John Hennigan. Currently have him listed as Johnny Caballero because it looks like he's going to be mostly in AAA, but we will see what happens.
Is that what he's going under in AAA?
Yes.
That's I love it.
Johnny Caballero.
Johnny Cowboy.
That's right. That's exactly right. Johnny Cowboy. So we know that the winner of that Eric Young, Kento Miyahara match will face Mysterious Q in round 3, the other matches will, they'll determine their own opponents as the show goes on. But based on what we saw today, we now know Powerhouse Hobbs against Toru Sugiura, Drew McIntyre against Kushida, Evil against Michael Oku, Nick Gage against Billy Dixon, and Big E against Matt Jackson will all happen in round number 3. We've got, I believe, 8 more second round shows, and then it'll be on to the rounds of 128 and 64, where we're going to be doing sort of 2 rounds per show. We'll have 16 wrestlers enter each episode, and only 4 will survive. As we get closer and closer to the finale of the 500,
crazy.
It's wild. We've been at this a while, and it's odd to see the end is almost in sight. Still got a ways to go. As we mentioned, there will be 9 rounds total in the tournament, and this is, we're a quarter of the way through round 2. But of course, the way tournaments work, each subsequent round is shorter because there's fewer people involved. That's how it works. But yeah, we've still got a ton of underdogs remaining in the tournament. Antonio Honda's still out there. Dylan McQueen, Donnie Kung Fu Janela, who is not on fire. Aaron Henare, Petey Williams. We've got lots and lots of low seeds. Don't Die Miles still hanging in there. So anything can happen in this tournament. We still have all 12 of our first round buys still hanging in there. I think all of the top 16 seeds are all still in it. We will see how that continues on as we go. 10 big matches next week. We are closing in on the finale. You can see in the upper right corner where you can follow us. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube, where we are also streaming. So you can contact us at our email address down below. There we go. That's the hand that's closer to the camera. ProWrestlingSimulated@gmail.com. We are no longer asking for edits of wrestlers, although I might have to find a new Kylie Ray. Although she was eliminated, so never mind. But I do remember from a previous episode, I do need to find a new Jordan Grace, because the one they have wasn't very good. Because she was just, Jordan Grace is a beautiful woman, and that edit was not at all.
Did not do it justice.
No, did not look like her at all. The body was close, but nothing else. So we'll work on that. Big thanks to all of the editors whose work I've just completely ripped off. We will eventually do a credits thanking you all individually, but big thanks to Miguel Francesca, whose templates I used for all of my edits, and also most of the AEW edits you see in the tournament came from him. Pimerino 77 also has a bunch of the Puro wrestlers that we're using. I'm pretty sure that it's his Toru Sugiura that we used earlier in this episode. So yeah, thanks to all of the fantastic editors in the community for Fire Pro. Thanks to the makers of Fire Pro. And thanks to Mike, who has joined me on this insane journey that we've still got like 20 more weeks worth of. And thank you for watching.
Always fun and always just great to nerd out about wrestling on a weekly basis.
Absolutely. I look forward to it every week, and I'm looking forward to next week. So until then, I'm Pat.
I'm Mike.
And we'll see you next week.